Well, my friends, this week I'm upset. No, I'm just kidding. I'm never upset. But I will talk about a little something I call convergence, Schmonvergence. And that was part of my monthly Forbes column this weekend as well. A fantastic set of predictions around neuromorphic computing. Welcome to the top 5 data, AI, and analytics post of the week. This is the 75th edition of the Data Driven Carcast. This is the Sunday night update where I review, highlight, recap for you what's hot and what's not in the world of data. And if you like this, be sure to comment, like, share, use and abuse this content. And as always, you know this by now, that by going to the blog link down below here, you'll get access to a nicely packaged slide deck where I've got all the resources that I'm using here so you can share it with your friends and colleagues to make you and them look smarter. Now, before I get started, I want to make sure I direct your attention to a survey by Mel, who's a VP of IT at Synchrony. He's a former CIO, CTO, and a great member of the community. And he's asking you, will 2021 be the year of the tech debt? Will you consolidate? Will you confirm your investment? Will you train or implement? So far, 43% of you are consolidating. You just have one more week now to answer the survey before it closes. So make sure you head on to my blog with the link to the survey. Now, speaking of voices being heard, I want to thank all of you for the great comments to my column that I published yesterday on the 2 issues CIOs need to watch out for in 2021. In this article, I talk about technology convergence and how you can watch out and deal with what I also called vendor speak. Now, we all know what convergence is, and it happens when 2 technology markets come so close together that they overlap, sometimes a little bit, but sometimes entirely, and they become one. We've seen this in the consumer world, of course, when you pick up your phone, you're often reminded that, well, it covers 30 plus use cases. It's a watch, it's a TV, it's a radio, it's a fax, etc., etc. And if you, in fact, want to have some fun with that, watch the TED Talk on this topic by Negroponte. He is the father of all predictions. He's the author of Being Digital. He's the founder of the MIT Media Lab, and he talks about how he's been kind of seeing these convergence trends in the consumer world for the last 30 years. But that's in the consumer world. In the enterprise world, we have to be a little bit more thoughtful, a little bit more careful, and maybe a little bit more disciplined when we think about convergence. Take, for instance, the convergence of the enterprise data warehouse and the data lake. Now, many vendors will tell you that they have this one thing that will solve all the use cases. And that might be true if there's some specific use cases that fit in this zone of clear overlap. But I want to warn you and equip you with the tools that are going to allow you to optimize for the core use cases, not the corner cases. And that's what the article is about. The high level, the remedy here, as I detail in the column, is focus on the big 3. And what I mean by that, and you probably find other dimensions, the big 3 for me are the users and the personas, the data types, and the processes involved. So if we take the example of the enterprise data warehouse and the data lake, are you looking for a solution that's for structured data or unstructured data or both? So how do you, couple these things and make sure they're integrated rather than maybe just use one tool? Are you looking at your data scientist or your data analyst? What is it that this is optimized for, the solution you're looking for? And what type of use cases are you looking for? Analysis, modeling, exploration, etc., and etc. So you'll find in the thread here on LinkedIn where I posted the article as well, lots of people adding their 2 cents there. So I really want to make sure you take part in the conversation. Lots of great comments from people I really respect a lot, and then hopefully this will help you optimize. Remember here, I'm using the term optimize because I'm looking for the best tool that does the best job for you, not just stretching beyond the design center of a tool or solution so it gets you in trouble. All right, so that's for convergence. Hopefully you get a lot of value out of that. Let me know what you think by adding your comments to the blog and to the LinkedIn post. Now, if you're a data executive, you'll also probably be interested in downloading Gartner's free 2021 CIO agenda. It's available online. You can just give your email address and download it. And they cover all types of trends. They cover DNA storage, physical experiences for virtual environment, And they also talk about the fact that CIOs have the opportunity of becoming COOs in 2021. But if you have 15 minutes before your week starts, either tonight or tomorrow morning, I highly, highly recommend that you follow the link in my blog to last week's Gartner ThinkCast. This is kind of their podcast. And in it, you'll hear Mary Mazzaglio. She's a great host of the podcast. And Daryl Plummer, who I've known for a long time and followed for many, many years, he talks about neuromorphic computing. What is that? Simply put, it's computing that works just like the human brain works. In the podcast, Daryl explains that this trend is actually well underway. We might think it's futuristic, but actually refers to a patent that IBM got on attaching a silicon chip to human brain synapse. And so it's super interesting conversation. It's entertaining. And it also connects with the Gartner prediction stating that by 2025, in 5 years from now, traditional computing technologies will hit a digital wall, and it will force a shift to new computing paradigms, one of which is this neuromorphic computing paradigm. So take a look at it. Let me know what you think, and reach out to either Mary or Daryl to let them know what you think about their prediction. So lots of great lessons this week. I hope you continue to get value out of these CarCasts. Thanks again for the continued engagement, the comments, the direct messages that you're sending me, and the words of encouragement. They mean a lot to me. So stay engaged, be data-driven, and I will see you next week.